Last year our plant became a part of a large production association in Voronezh, which is engaged in the production of medical drugs. We use various pharmaceutical equipment that meets the requirements and standards of GMP for production, a unit for dehydration of aqueous solutions, and extracts in a fluidized bed apparatus, rotary tablet machines, an automatic line for packaging tablets in plastic film or foil, and other high-tech machines and apparatuses. At a meeting to improve production, it was decided to cellophane bottles with drugs for gastrointestinal diseases, followed by packaging them in a cardboard box for delivery to the customer. This process consists in wrapping pharmaceutical products with a transparent thin film to preserve the appearance of the package. I have worked at the company for over 30 years, 15 of them as chief engineer. I know all productions at the plant well. I was given the task to find equipment for cellophane packaging of a group of 10 bottles for the packing and transportation area. The equipment had to be modern with simple controls and a capacity of 500 bottles per hour. I know a lot of people in the industry. The first thing I did was to ask them for advice on finding equipment for packaging a group of bottles in cellophane. I understood that the sphere of production of my colleagues differs from the sphere of our enterprise. However, they could recommend me good producers of equipment, which I could ask for help in choosing the machine. My colleagues recommended 2 manufacturers in Germany. I found their details on the internet and sent them an email asking them to match my requirements. 2 days later I got a reply from one company saying that they had equipment for cellophane packaging a group of buns, the specified technical parameters. However, they would accept my order if I ordered at least 2 such machines from them, as it would not be profitable for them to make a one-time order. I figured I didn't need a second such machine and refused. The other company replied that they do not work with CIS countries. Based on the same advice of my colleagues, I did not contact the Chinese manufacturers directly. My acquaintances told me that equipment manufacturers from China often deliver incomplete equipment, citing inaccurate information about the required parameters of the machine. I could not take the risk, so I decided to choose a Russian-speaking intermediary to search for cellophane packaging equipment for a group of bottles. I needed a professional who had been working for a long time in the field of supplying pharmaceutical equipment and had positive feedback from customers. I began my search for a specialist on the internet. I chose 3 of the most presentable companies. As a criterion, I looked at the time the company has been on the equipment supply market, the company's website, the terms of delivery of the machine. I called to all the companies by phone in order to be sure of the manager's professionalism. The specialist of one company said to wait for 5 minutes, but never listened to me. I didn't like this attitude to the customer. The manager of another company talked to me politely, asked questions about the necessary performance equipment, terms of production. 5 days later I received from them in the mail 10 different options for cellophane packaging machines, and an offer to make a choice on their own. I realized that they did not have a professional approach, and they would not help me in my search for cellophane packaging equipment. The last, 3rd option of an intermediary turned out to be a good one for me. The mail manager talked to me like a professional. He asked specific questions about the performance of the plant, the size of bottles, told me about the terms of delivery. During consultations, he suggested an automatic device for cluster packaging in cellophane, which I was able to quickly negotiate with the company management. Within a week, we concluded a contract for the supply of equipment. The manager reported 2 weeks in advance on the degree of readiness of the machine. The machine was delivered within a month after the contract was signed. The equipment is made of stainless steel. The white plastic bottles were placed on a metal tray before being fed to the conveyor, which is used for remote handling and automatic feeding of products in processing lines. A reel of cellophane was placed at the top of the equipment. The rolls along which the film was fed to the package ensured film tension. The cellophaning process was controlled through the LCD screen system. The bottles came in by means of a gripper, forming a pack of 10 pieces. The formed bottles were then conveyed to the vacuum packaging compartment where the air was removed from the packaging to reduce the space required for subsequent packaging in a carton. We were satisfied with the automatic equipment for bottle bulk packaging in cellophane recommended and supplied by the manager of this company. I realized that I had made the right choice of a specialist to supply the machine. Qualified advice is essential in choosing any purchase. The project is sure to be successful if this advice was received from a professional.